We are Gold Ivy, a health company dedicated to simplifying health and wellness. The industry is lacking the honest experience and grit required to overcome the struggle, and we're here to fill that gap.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold. Join us on the fearless pursuit of self-discovery and growth.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
Welcome.
We are here. It is the day.
It's the day we've been waiting for.
It really is the day we've been waiting for. Welcome to Ivy Unleashed, everybody.
The first episode of Ivy Unleashed.
I cannot believe it. We have been preparing for this day for a while now. Wow, I'm just so happy. We are set up. We are recording.
Mics are on. Video is recording. Yes, video. We will also be on YouTube. So tune into our YouTube channel, Ivy Unleashed.
Yes.
Whether you listen to podcasts in the car and that's your groove, or you like video, catch us on both. So We'll be on Apple, on iTunes, and on YouTube.
All right. So this episode is dedicated to you getting to know us and what we're all about. Gold Ivy Health Co. This is a company that we decided to create with a mission to empower.
And created in the midst of darkness in
2020.
During quarantine.
We're not afraid of 2020.
Oh, hell no. So you'll see a lot of things out there, which you probably have, about when quarantine is over. What do you want to say you accomplished? And Andrew and I, true nature, we're like, let's frickin' do this.
Yes.
Let's pursue some dreams.
So we want to share what we're learning, reading, and implementing into our lives with you in hopes that any piece of information can help you with your self-discovery and growth.
Yeah. So we're going to share what we're doing and anything along the way that speaks to your heart and that you're like, ooh, I like that. I want to try it. We want you to grab what works for you. We're not saying we're the experts. We're just giving you some real-time grit on what we're doing and what we're reading.
Yeah.
And what other people are doing.
Yeah, totally. And if we share something that doesn't feel true to you, disregard it. You know, if we share a tip and you don't like it, don't use it. Take and use information we provide that uplifts you and speaks to what is true for you and your vision of your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this company is built off of 3 standards. We feel so passionate about these 3 standards where we're like, what do we want to stand for? What do we want to put into the world? You know, what do we want our work to reflect? And we truly feel like our mission is to always live up to these 3 standards. And so they are: 1, seek growth; 2, simplify the action steps; and 3, build confidence. So we'll kind of break those down. With seeking growth, I mean, this is just what even started this company.
Who we are.
It's who we are. And so seeking growth, we want you to be firm in your values and visualize your future self for continual growth, which is, it's hard sometimes. Like, it's hard to make time for that. And it's just imperative for us as human beings to keep growing. And so you're going to hear about growth a lot. And so part of that is figuring out what you want to do, but really simplifying the action steps. So number 2, simplify the action steps. So taking any helpful knowledge and creating practical steps that impact your daily life, one step at a time.
And that work for you.
Yes.
Just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time we push it and we want it to work so bad, but it has to feel natural and it has to live up to who we are.
And be doable. So when we say simplify the action steps, we mean really break it down. Like if a goal feels too big, it's because it is. If it feels like it's overwhelming, it's because it is. And so get it to that point where you can simplify it to a point that it's improving your health and well-being, but it's so small that you could not only commit to it for the day, but the week, the month, like forever. Keep it that small. And then number 3, build confidence. Brooke and I want you to feel confident, and we want to feel confident. And what creates confidence to us is thinking about your thoughts, thinking about how you can feel confident in your thoughts. And how we get there is truly just honoring those promises that we make to ourselves. And that just strengthens our self-efficacy and makes us feel like we can do anything. The more that you do what you promise yourself you will do, the more confidence you'll have.
Yeah, and your self-efficacy, the belief that I can do this.
Yep.
It's real.
And show yourself over and over and over. And the more you show yourself, the more confidence you'll have. And we plan to live by these standards and provide you the material that encompasses the Gold Ivy standard to truly just level up your life. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to keep you evolving into a higher version of yourself. So you're going to hear us talking a lot about growth.
Yes.
Overcoming challenges, barriers, and also talking about the struggle. I think, something that really sparked this company was not only our experience in health and wellness, but our overwhelm with it.
Yes.
And how there's so much information out there, so many fad diets. Is avocado healthy for me? Is it not? Should I be meditating? Should I be running?
How do I
Is
meditate?
running bad for me? It's ridiculous. And it doesn't have to be that hard, but there's so much information. Yeah, there's so much information out there, which makes it complicated.
Yep.
And that's something that's really missing from this space right now is no one's talking about how hard it is. Mm-hmm. And that real-time struggle, the grit, the mental grit that it takes, how you talk to yourself. That's not something that we were taught growing up.
Nope.
We're taught how to memorize in school. We're not taught how to talk to ourselves.
To listen to yourself.
How to listen to yourself, how to listen to your body, what it's trying to tell you, emotional agility, how to deal with your emotions, all these things that we were never taught that are so important.
Yep. Yeah, and can you imagine if we got to add a class to schools now? Oh,
how to meditate. If that was me being little, I'd be like, oh.
But they can do it. Kids can do it. I mean, my kids love it. We don't always do it, but it's definitely something that helps them get to sleep or calm them or
the thing is they're doing it in other countries, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm reading Jay Shetty's book right now, Think Like a Monk. So this is something that Andrea and I are going to be talking a lot about. We're going to talk about the books we're reading.
We are always reading
podcasts we're listening to other than our own. But right now I'm reading Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk, because I've really been honing into meditation, breath work, and there's a chapter in his book where he talks about other countries they're doing this. Mm-hmm. And they're teaching him. So he goes over there as a grown man, and this 5-year-old is talking about, I'm focusing on my breath. What? What? Like crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's something that we got to get back to, talking about what truly is uplifting us, helping us evolve.
Yeah.
And so kind of twofold here. We're talking about the gold that we find. And so kind of going into what the heck is Gold Ivy? Mm-hmm. Words are power.
Yes.
Words are gold.
Yes.
Andrea and I are obsessed with quotes.
We're words of affirmation people too. So we
love
share
language.
Quotes. We share quotes. We share books. We share the words. Words. Tell me.
They mean a lot. And so we want to explain kind of where Gold Ivy came from so that it's a symbol for us. And gold, like I kind of said, is words are powerful. Words are gold. But also it's our mission to be a light and to uplift you and be that beacon of light for you. Mm-hmm. And Ivy, kind of the opposite over here.
Again, back to growth. Yes.
Growth.
Growing in hard places. Ivy grows. Yeah. Ivy grows in hard places.
And it can't be tamed.
Ooh.
And
I like that.
No matter how hard the struggle feels, there's always something that you can do. Mm-hmm. One small step that you can take.
Totally. Yeah. And we want to kind of take what our name means and put it into this podcast. So obviously you'll hear a bunch of our words. But also you'll see how we're growing, both that combo, and what a podcast is going to be is, a lot of times it's going to be just Brooke and I sharing what we're going through, sharing what we're hearing, sharing what we're learning, sharing the research we're finding, giving you resources, all of that. Sometimes we're going to have guests on that are really out and about in the field, really have experience with these topics.
And you guys, the lineup.
I can't even.
I don't even.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's going to be gold.
Yes, it's going to be gold. And not just for us, because we're going to learn so much, and we want to learn from these people.
Right, we're selfishly having them on for us, but we're doing this for you guys.
We're going to share it for you.
And we're giving you access to their minds because every time we talk to them, our lives have been changed for the better.
Yes.
And we want them to have this platform.
Yeah. And then,
you guys.
Yeah. So there's kind of 3 aspects too. So it's us 2 on some episodes. It's a guest on some. And then it's also, sometimes we're just going to have, maybe we'll even have you on to share your story. We want to inspire people, and we want real, raw, vulnerable, like, how did you get through something? How did you continue to grow through hard times? Or maybe, it's just you had this light bulb moment out of nowhere and you just flip the switch and have totally bettered your life, and you just want to share it because it could help someone, because that's what this platform does.
And that's why we're obsessed with stories.
Yes.
We love stories, and there's so many different ways that you can share your story with us.
Yep.
If you tune into, our podcast, you can get our weekly newsletter, you can go to our website, which we'll talk about more after, and they'll also be in the show notes, but we want to make sure that it's known that you have access to us.
Yes.
Because we want to know what's important in your life right now. What topics, what questions do you have? This is not just the Andrea and Brooke show, even though we haven't even said our names yet.
Yeah, true. We need to introduce ourselves. Last thing I say before we jump into who we are is we need to remember, though, that you need to remember, as you listen to all the things we say, we're going to be saying so many things, is remember that you are the expert of your life, and that you are in charge of deciding what information we provide is gold for you. So let's tell them who we are.
Yeah. Who are you?
So I am Andrea. I am obsessed with bettering myself, getting to a higher level of myself, and creating real connections with people and building relationships. So I even have people say that it's the Andrea special when they talk with me, because I want to talk about the deepest things. I want to talk about what moves you. I want to figure out what we have in common. I love building relationships. And so that's also why we did this. We want to connect with people. We are people. But as far as me, I am a wife. I have kids. I have 3 kids, and an 8-year-old, 5-year-old, 2-year-old. I personally love running, and I am a lifelong learner. So I'm always reading a book, always trying to figure out something that I don't know. I love that. But balancing work and kids and a career and passions and all of the things really requires a lot of work, a lot of prioritizing. So I really help people prioritize how to work with their families and time, and just trying to make it easier on yourself to balance things. So being in the health and wellness industry for 10 years, I have come to the wellness philosophy to simplify the research, but also read the research first. Research is important. And then also to apply the basics of whole foods, movement, and mindfulness into your routine. And then my mission within Gold Ivy is to really move people to take action like they never have before. When someone realizes their worth, in that conversation, it is so powerful to have someone just even take one step that lights their world on fire with knowing who they are and what their passions are. And I just really feel like it's my mission to help create energy and momentum for people to make the process easier.
To believe in themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a good hype woman.
Yeah.
One thing you will notice. Yeah, that's why I keep her around. No, but yeah.
You're amazing. I just feel like I think if you think someone is beautiful or good at something, or you notice something, you should just tell someone. Tell them.
You don't know how it's going to make their day.
Oh.
Words have power.
They really do. They really do. So who are you? What is your name, girl?
Yeah, my name is Brooke. I am not a mother. I'm not a wife. I'm 10 years younger than Andrea. And, I'm experienced things that she's already been through, things that she hasn't. Mm-hmm. And what's kind of awesome is the learning, not only from our guests, but from each other that's going to go on. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know, Andrea and I are related, not by blood, even though the universe feels like we should be. Yes. So Andrea is married to my cousin. Shout out, Jay Herbs.
Shout out to Justin.
Thanks for bringing her into my life.
Love you, babe.
And like I said, the universe just keeps bringing us back together. So I remember the first time I met Andrea. Oh, Christmas, when I was little girl.
Oh, so cute.
And
blonde locks.
I noticed
big blue eyes.
that we had something special. And we both, had childhoods that weren't ideal circumstances.
Yeah.
And it was really the first time that I felt like I belonged. And what I mean by that is Andrea had shared with me that her parents were divorced.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
What?
Yeah. I knew that you didn't know that yet. And I wanted you to feel like you weren't alone in it.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, you just want to be like everybody else. Cookie cutter family.
And you don't know the emotions you're feeling. You don't know. You know what's around you.
Yeah.
And that is your normal. And for me, it was just a sense of I have someone to look up to admire, someone who, just makes me feel like I matter and belong. And all these things that as a little girl, it's important. And Andrea's always been that person for me. We both are from Wisconsin. She went to the U of M.
Go Ghosts.
10 years later, I went to the U of M.
Yeah.
Despite touring in the pouring rain and a dorm that used to be a sane asylum. I still came here.
Right.
And I loved every second of it. And my people were up here. Mm-hmm. And then I decided that I was going to go to Florida. So I did study fashion PR. And you're thinking, what? How the heck?
I mean, you're still fashionista. I feel like you can just pull it together, girl. I feel like you channeled that degree. I feel
Thank
like
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But that's not my purpose.
It wasn't a waste.
And thank you. Thank you. But they say you don't really know what you want to do until you know what you don't want to do and until you experience life. And so summer after my junior year, I went to Florida for a internship, and I started developing crazy symptoms that to this day I haven't really figured out what the root cause is 3 years later. And it's an ever constant battle of figuring it out. But one thing I've learned is that there is a message in the mess.
Yeah.
And that if this is something I'm struggling with, it's something that other people are struggling with too.
Totally. Like, I think you have to remind yourself that you're never alone.
No.
And hopefully you sharing this message and what you're learning along the way and what you're experiencing will help somebody else that might be going the same thing, or maybe somebody else has found some answers that maybe you need. I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys can help me, come on.
The amount of doctors and I don't even know, specialists?
Yeah, and Chinese medicine.
I mean, what is your number at? Like what right now?
47.
47?
Oh. Yeah, and that doesn't include Google, which has, you convince yourself that you have cancer and all these things.
Oh, don't Google. Do not. I mean,
but you can. Just be intentional about it. But what I'm trying to get at is, I've really learned that this is my mission, is to help people. And what I'm learning, the struggles that I've gone through, is to learn how to break it down. And that there's so much information out there and it's complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Mm-hmm. And what it really comes down to is you are the expert of your journey and your wellness. And when you don't feel well, no one's going to tell you that you don't feel different, that you feel okay.
Right.
And that you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because trust me, that's how I feel, and I've been there.
Oh, yeah. That's so hard because you're not crazy. And only you know what you're feeling. And if you can't get the answers, I'm sure it makes you feel crazy sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, you're definitely not alone.
Yeah. And so through this, I've learned my mission, I keep saying, is to break it down.
Yeah.
I want to make health and wellness something that's about living up to a higher version of yourself, making you feel whole, making you feel well, whatever that looks like for you. Mm-hmm. And being an advocate for your health. I've spent the last 5 years invested in simplifying the space for anyone who's struggling to find answers, peace, a higher version of themselves. Mm-hmm. And through this, I've really learned the mind-body connection, the whole person approach, which is really how I approach my work and working with clients, and something you're going to hear a lot on the podcast. Gut health, mental health, movement, it's all interconnected.
Yes.
And through intuitive work and intentional living, there's ways that you can find balance. You can enjoy life and still feel well and keep evolving.
Yeah. I hate that you've had to learn this way. I know you've learned so much through the process, so it's almost like, are you grateful for it, or do you despise the process? And I think, like you said, message in the mess, but I think, some days I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how, when you're that tired, and we'll dive into it. We have episodes about, going more into detail about what Brooke's experiencing and her steps, like tangible steps that she is going to provide you too. But I think it's just wild what you've been through, and that you've had to learn this way of how to get that mind-body connection and to actually listen to it.
Right. And that's something that they don't teach you. They don't teach you how to listen to your body, right? You have symptoms and you're taught, you don't feel well, go to the doctor. Mm-hmm. The doctor is supposed to know what to do. All right, well, these 47 doctors don't know what they're doing. And that, it's not their fault. And me blaming and, living in denial and pity party isn't doing any good. Yeah. And that's who I've been my whole life, is finding the light and positivity and to keep going, because it's never so bad it can't get worse.
Ooh.
Our good gal, Alicia Cleary, taught me that one. Shout out Alicia Herbert. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
another Herbert. So many Herberts.
Yes. So, negativity, nothing it can do. Complaining, it actually shrinks your hippocampus, which is your memory and reasoning portion of your brain. And so complaining, being negative isn't doing anything, which I found the hard way.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I'm so happy that you're sharing your struggle, because I feel like this is a message that we can all learn from, whether, we have health issues or we don't. I'm in a space right now where I'm pretty healthy, and I'm so grateful for that. And, we all have different struggles, and it's all on different spectrums. Sometimes people are going through really, really hard things, and sometimes it just looks different. For me right now, I would say, how I'm challenging myself and the struggle that I'm facing is really trying to prioritize time for myself as a mom, and even just as a family, to kind of keep it moving efficiently so that we have time for everything. We have time to be present with each other. And I cannot give fully to anybody unless I'm fully myself. And so in 2020, I decided, and this started out way different than it is now, but my struggle, my struggle has always been getting up early. So I thought, because I grew up with in my mom's home, and she's a night owl, that I was really adapting to her habits, and then I identified with them. So I was like, I'm totally a night owl too. She has never, I don't even know if she's ever been to bed before 10 p.m.
Shout out Joe Mama.
She's just a night owl. She takes naps during the day. Sometimes she can get up early, she can get up late, but she always goes to bed late. And so I did that. And then I thought that's who I was. And 2020 has taught me something totally different, where small steps or total just decision to do this, that the morning time is magical. I decided in 2020 that how I would start in January was just I'm just going to get up before my kids. So even if it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I think I committed to 30 minutes. And I got up before them, and I felt like
on top of the world.
Yeah, I felt like I own the world. Nobody's awake but me. Not true. But, it felt like that in my house. It was quiet.
Well, you could hear yourself think.
Yes, totally. And so it started just getting up before them. And then I was like, I'm going to get consistent with 30 minutes, and then so I get on my treadmill. January was snowy and I couldn't go outside. So I'm on my treadmill, and I was like, this feels so good. And then February, I was like, let's try an hour before they get up. And then it turned into centering myself more and journaling, reading more. It really turned into listening to myself. It was quiet. And I realized that I can't hear myself. I can't, if I'm not getting up before people are asking anything of me, or I'm hearing people's opinions in social media or whatever, I can't hear how I truly feel, what my desires are, what my goals are. And so I decided that I'm going to take time to center in my faith. I'm going to determine what my goals are for the day or the week. I'm going to eat a nutritious breakfast. I'm going to have a hot coffee, not one that I've heated up 45 times because I'm doing things for my kids or working or whatever all throughout the day. And then having an uninterrupted workout. So sometimes I'll throw it in whenever I can with the kids if one of them's taking a nap or have things going on. And I just realized I want to just put everything into this workout and not have it interrupted, which isn't always the case, but it has been life-changing. I feel fully myself. I feel full of energy before anyone asks anything of me. And And truly, it's been life-changing. It's a struggle still, and that's what's tough. Like, I've seen the value in it, but that doesn't mean that it's not hard to get up. Like, I've talked myself. I can talk myself into anything.
Anything.
When I'm trying to get up. I'm going to go back to bed because I got up once with Blair in the middle of the night, or I really need sleep today because it's a big day, or, just 30 more minutes. Maybe I'll just cut my workout short today because, I'm not training for anything. I can convince myself of anything. And so that struggle is real. So I'm trying 5 days a week, 5 a.m., which gives me at least an hour by myself, sometimes more if I get lucky or if my work schedule allows, but that's my goal. Struggling through it, but it's rewarding. Even if it happens one day a week, it's super rewarding.
So, question.
Yes.
What do you tell yourself on the days that you wake up and get out of bed? What does that self-talk look like?
I say, I honestly steal from Nike sometimes, and I'm like, just do it. I swear, it works.
The best quote in the world.
It sounds so cheesy, but if you, don't think, just do. I say that. Don't think, just do.
Don't give yourself time to even have that inner dialogue of I was up with Blair. Oh, I could use more sleep. It's a busy day. Mm-hmm. You just do it.
I've even told Justin when he hears my alarm just to give me a push or to have him say, because words are powerful, just have your feet hit the floor. Because once I do that,
or Justin just do it.
No, that'd be a little weird. But I mean, if I have to use it, I have to use it. But those are things I think the more that I think about it, the less it's likely to happen, because you can always justify why you need more sleep.
Exactly. And in all reality, hitting snooze isn't doing you anything. It's doing you more harm.
And it goes back to that, honoring yourself, or, I promised myself that I would do this. Why am I not doing it? What is that?
Yeah. And remembering how good you feel. Because when you miss one, you wish you would have woke up earlier.
Yeah. And I spend all day thinking about, if I just would have done this earlier in the day, you got to move on. Sometimes it's not in the cards. But that is my struggle. That is what I am working on. And stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on how it's going.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear, excited to see.
Yeah.
I've also been trying to wake up early, and it's hard, man. Oh my gosh. Especially when you're alone and with isolation and 2020. I know a lot of people know what I'm talking about. It's hard. I think, when you're around people, you kind of get some momentum, some energy. When you're by yourself, you have to create that energy.
Yeah.
And when, I'm already dealing with chronic fatigue and feeling tired, how do I find that extra push? And so I've really focused on having my morning time or my me time about something I'm looking forward to. And I think it's really important to note that your you time doesn't always have to be morning. New moms or people that are exhausted, wake up early for work, whatever it is.
Or if you don't get up early and then you just have to find it somewhere else.
Yeah. I think the overall message is just to find that you time and schedule it in. Because if you don't schedule it in, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We all know that. I'm going to go to the grocery store. Oh, I need to do this. It just keeps getting pushed back. You keep getting pushed back. And you need to claim your you time.
Yeah, well, and time, the tricky part with time is something's always got to give, right? So if you're getting up at 5, you're losing sleep. Unless if you plan for the sleep. But if you go to bed earlier, what was in that space before? What's got to give? And so I think sometimes you've got to figure out, and we'll definitely walk through this. Actually, episode 2, next episode, we're going to be talking about it, where we really talk about time management and really think about being in charge of that. And the more you feel like you're in control of your day, it's wild what you can accomplish.
Yeah. It's all about the intention.
Yep.
And I think it depends too. Until you schedule that you time, you don't know what time is really going to work best for you. I thought, I was a night person too, until I started waking up early. And then I realized how much different my brain is, how much more on fire I am for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. And, something that 2020 and just life in general has taught me is that we just always have to pivot. The only thing constant in life is change and pivoting. Yeah. And I was training for a marathon and some injuries, and we'll get more into that. Medical mysteries continue.
Yes. TBD.
But I haven't worked out in a really long time, and that was my stress relief. That was my go-to. That was how I spent my me time. and trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? I'm in a really rough spot right now mentally.
Because running was really helping you with stress.
It was really therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so something that I never thought I would get into, meditation and breath work, and taking that time to reconnect my mind and my body. I feel so out of line with my body and all of the symptoms I've been experiencing, and taking back that control by focusing on something so simple as my breath, what I'm already doing. And in addition to that, it's asking for help. You know, my whole life, I've always had pride in myself of, I can do it.
And you've crushed life by yourself. I mean, not that you haven't had a support system at all or anything like that, but you are such a, I got this myself person. Like, I feel like that's just part of who you are.
And it's hard to ask for help. Yeah. It's hard to feel less than.
Well, you want to feel like you've got
Everyone
this.
does. Yeah. Everyone does. Yeah. And so for me, it was learning that it's okay to ask for help, and surrounding myself with people who, even if I don't have to ask, they're helping in ways that they don't know, whether that's what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, the people I'm surrounding myself with. It doesn't necessarily have to be
anybody that you know.
No, not at all. And who I'm following on social media, being intentional with that, and not playing the comparison game. And so getting a team behind me is what it's come down to, of different doctors with different specialties, a therapist, shout out Emily.
Marcy, what's up? Love you.
And a coach, someone who's going to tap into that potential and give me a lens, a different lens.
Yes.
Ways I can't see things, of barriers that I need an outside perspective.
I think what you and I believe in, obviously, is reading the books and hearing from other people and getting some insight from someone other than yourself, because the more we kind of, whether it's taking that like silence time to clear your mind so that you can't even hear your own voice, or it's taking a step back from all of the thoughts in your mind to just get a different perspective and learn something from someone else. I think sometimes we assume that, you know, this is just the way things are, this is the way things go. And I think tuning into someone else that's got some other research, or someone that's tried something different, it can be really powerful if we, you know, truly try and learn. Open up your mind to new things. I know I struggle with that too when I'm reading some of these books that they just feel over my head, like these ideas of the universe and intention.
The universe has your back. I'm like, does it really? Does it?
Totally. Yeah. And Gabrielle Bernstein. Ooh, her books are insanely beautiful and eye-opening, but I'm not going to lie. There's some paragraphs when I'm reading, I'm like, what did I even just read? But even if, you know, maybe I'll come back to that book and read it in 5 years and then it'll all make sense to me. But I still get takeaways from things. Like, I still try and pick those pieces of those lessons, those ideas, maybe different things that might move you one day, might not the other, but kind of getting the insight, like you said, and or asking for help from someone you know has been through something similar or might have some insight can be really, really powerful.
Totally. And then coming back to, all right, well, these people who are telling me what they think I'm feeling, they don't know. I'm the expert.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I have the control, even when I feel totally out of control. And that's something that breath work and meditation has really taught me, is we are not our thoughts. We are observers of our thoughts. And I focus on this and the self-awareness, and I realize how I'm truly speaking to myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, once you figure that out, once you think about your thoughts, or you're more aware of your thoughts and how you can shift them, like, there's no going back.
No. Then everything piles in, and then you start focusing on everything. I think it's true that you have to get worse before you get better.
Yeah.
It gets harder before it gets easier.
And we'll dive more into this too. I feel like this is a really like dynamic topic, and we have a full episode dedicated to
self-talk, affirmations.
Yes. Power of thought.
Yes. With, the one and only Kara Hatch. You guys, she is magical.
She's a health coach, and she is
a beauty.
I can't even put her whole being into words. What she's provided in my life.
She's one of those people that you talk to and you leave like, what just happened?
Yes. But you feel so at peace.
And you feel like you can conquer the world.
Yeah, and you're not judged. And it's just, she is a dream. And so coming kind of back to our show and what this is all going to be, I mean, we can dive into all these topics, and we will, like hardcore, we will dive into them. We will explain the different topics that we're thinking about, what you're thinking about, what you want more information on. We are going to, whether we know a lot about them or we don't, I mean, we're going to be really honest and raw and vulnerable in what we don't know, what we want to know, what we're working on, what we're great at, and using each other to kind of just level up our lives. So something we're going to do every show is called the 3 gold stars. So we want you to be able to tune in, and sometimes like you just don't want to have to think of your goal. I mean, it's more powerful if it's coming from you, and as a health coach, that's what we do. We will work with you to come up with your goals. But we want to provide you with 3 easy steps, things we've thought of that are small steps. They are, nothing that's too overwhelming to think about, hopefully. And if it is, disregard it. Don't use it. Do what speaks to you. Utilize what speaks to you. If none of them do, don't use them. It's totally fine. So today, 3 gold stars, things that we kind of mentioned on this podcast a bit about, like what's worked for us and maybe what might work for you. So number 1, first gold star, wake up 30 minutes earlier this week to seek growth. Whether that's journaling, whether that's exercise, whether that's meditation, whatever helps you feel like you're pushing yourself, learning something new, or challenging yourself.
Love it. Number 2, incorporate one new practice you've learned from someone you admire. Whether that be someone that you're following on Instagram, someone you've listened to a podcast, a friend, something that you're like, ooh, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
And instead of just putting it on your mental checklist of, I should really try that. No. Let's implement it. And it can be something as simple as, I'm going to try a new recipe. I'm going to listen to a meditation. I'm going to download an app. One small thing.
Yes. And we all have like things that we're like, someday I'm going to try that. One day I'm going to do that. I love how they do that. I really wish that I could do that. Pick something small and just try it.
Someday doesn't exist. The only time we have is now.
Yes.
And if you capitalize on that time, your life's going to change.
Yes. And the 3rd gold star is make a promise to yourself this week and keep it. And that could be anything too. Like we said before, the more that you honor those promises you make to yourself, something that you want to do, even if it's super small, like I will take a bubble bath this week.
Oh, how good does that sound?
I know. I need to get some bubbles. I feel like
I need to get a bath.
There's something about True. Yeah. And so, I mean, whatever it is, anything, any small promise, just say this week I'm going to do this and just do it.
You know what my small promise is?
What?
Sorry, podcast listeners. You're not going to be able to see this. You got to tune into YouTube to see
my gosh, you
big
guys.
magic.
Okay, so Brooke has this water bottle. I can't even put in words. Like, you need to see this on the video. It is the biggest, most obnoxious, but kind of cute water bottle I've ever seen. Okay, so how many ounces is this thing?
Water bottle is 128 ounces. It's a gallon. And I got it because I realized that my water intake just stunk. And I was doing Whole30. I was starving. I'm like, maybe I can suppress some of this hunger by actually drinking water. Because a lot of times we're just thirsty. We're not hungry.
Yeah.
And
cravings, they go away a little bit more if you have water.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? If I can just make my life one step easier by not having to refill my water bottle and knowing how much I have to drink throughout the day and having a goal. So this water bottle breaks up the time, 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., all the way to 9 p.m. Gives me motivation. We got good morning, hydrate yourself.
It talks to you.
Yes.
We need to name
Keep
this
chugging,
thing.
girl.
Is this our mascot?
Until we get a little puppy around here.
Brooke wants to get a puppy.
Stay tuned.
I want a puppy. Can I pretend it's my dog?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
We can share the responsibilities too.
Okay. I am down. I want a dog so bad. Anyway,
so
let's name this thing. Can we name it?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want some input. So listeners, if you want to name this big giant water bottle, send us some ideas.
Yes. So your promise to yourself is to drink. You drink that every day?
Back to the.
You drink that every day?
Every day. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Do I get through it every day? No, I'm human. But it's my goal.
Hey, at least your scrub brush can actually get in that water bottle and clean. Because water bottles you can never get in. That thing is
My whole hand goes all the way in that bad boy. It's heavy, it's got dual purposes. It's good, but
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's the little things in life and the little promises that you keep to yourself that add up. So
they really do.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the 3 gold stars.
So 3 gold stars. One thing you're going to hear every episode. A lot of times we're going to be asking the guests, or we'll do it ourselves. Another thing you're going to hear in every episode is a segment called Unleashing Ivy.
Oh, I love this.
So this is how we're growing. Rapid fire questions.
I'm really bad at rapid fire. Like, I don't know if I talk too much. I don't know if I can just give one word, but I will try. Is it one word?
No, like a phrase, and then you can elaborate.
Okay.
Elaborate. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
All right. So first question we got here is,
shoot it at me. Let's go.
What's one thing you do to center yourself?
Oh, my mind goes right to running. But I don't run every day. So I would say centering myself, I have to start every day with my Bible app. Even if it's just reading the verse of the day. I try and do more than that. There's like devotionals and like daily things that you can read and learn about, whatever. But if I just start my day with a Bible verse, just the rest of it feels like I can move forward centered, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So that's what that is for me.
Okay.
Second Unleashing Ivy question for you, Brooke. When you are really struggling to get motivated, what is one thing that steers you in a positive direction?
You.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But seriously.
Really?
Yeah. I think who we surround ourselves with and having that support system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's a team or one person that's our go-to that we fully trust and they just know, and we don't have to explain. We can just say, I need some help, some tips, some motivation, anything.
Well, I'm glad I'm that person for you.
Yeah, you always have been.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad we met.
We're also a safe place and non-judgmental, which is what, why we started this and what we want to offer everyone and our clients and our listeners. So yeah, you are the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
True.
And I think it's important to surround yourself with people that are doing good.
Yeah.
And being good and kind and loving.
Lift you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Third question, last but not least. What is one thing you wish you would have known sooner?
One thing I wish I would have known sooner. There's a lot of things I wish I would have known sooner. But I'm going to go with not believing every thought you have. I feel like I've always identified with like, this is who I am. These are my thoughts. If it's super judgmental, it's because I deserve it. It's like I'm super analytical with every move I make, and I always want it to be kinder or more gentle or nicer or, whatever. And I think that something that I've learned, especially with health coach Kara, is that, you can get your mind to a place that's less judgmental. And like, it goes way beyond that, and it's way more complex. But basically, judging thoughts, like letting them come in and kind of letting them go out, like
observing them.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And that's a skill. And like, nobody teaches you that. Like, we already kind of touched on it, but nobody teaches you that. And I'm super excited to like keep developing that skill of what can I do with these thoughts I have? Because I have some crazy thoughts and I have some like really exciting thoughts, and then to put them into action and in a way that, speaks to my soul. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting better at it. Here we are. This is a dream of mine. Like, I can't even believe we're here. And this is like one of those thoughts that you hold on to and you write it down and you see how you can make it happen. So
it's a one day thought that then you realized the power you had. Mm-hmm. No, let's do this.
Yeah. And I can
do it.
Yeah. And you and I talking about that thought with a person that I lean on, you as well. You were like, let's do that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So here we are. And so that's Unleashing Ivy. I feel like those 3 questions, I can't wait to ask guests that too. And I think what we'll do with those questions, we'll kind of tailor them to each topic that we're talking about to, get some more out of that, get some more insight. But the last thing we want to do on each podcast is offer a piece of gold, which is a quote. We love quotes so much. And so we're going to provide you with a quote. And today it's from the one and only Gabrielle Bernstein. All right, Gabrielle Bernstein says, in the midst of darkness, grab a flashlight.
And our goal and mission is to be that flashlight for you guys.
Yes. Yes. So thank you so much all for tuning in. We finished our first episode. Yes. We can't wait to dig in more with you guys and learn more about what you want to hear, how you're feeling. You know, like we said, go to our website, goldivyhealthco.com, sign up for the newsletter, shoot us a message, let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if you have a story. We want to hear it.
We would love to hear it. And don't forget to tune in next time.
Yes.
Second episode, we're going to be talking all things time management.
Yes.
We're going to be weekly. So catch us weekly. Subscribe on Apple, iTunes.
And find that YouTube. Time that it works for you.
Yes. Whenever you feel like in your week you need some uplifting, you tune in.
We'll give you some gold.
Yeah, baby.
All right. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.